10 times people died because of Black Friday. Number 10. 39-year-old Isidro Zarat was sitting in his car while his wife, Lisa, was inside a Walmart in San Antonio, Texas. Zarat was in the car waiting for his wife. He spotted the 21-year-old man named Teles Mandan Juarez grabbing a woman by the hair in front of the store. He drove his car up to the assailant. He put down his car window. Before Zarat could get out of the car to break up the scene, Juarez pulled out a gun and pulled the trigger. He was shot in the neck. Zarat was died on the spot. Number 9. Timmy Tidema. The Nintendo Wii was the most in-demand gift on Black Friday of 2008. And eager shoppers were lined up in the cold by 3:30 a.m. at the Walmart in Valley Stream, New York. Over 2,000 people wanted to get inside to shop, and by 4:55 a.m., they had grown impatient and wanted the store to open. The crowd broke down the doors, sending shattered glass everywhere, as the mob poured through the doors. One of the Walmart employees, Timmy Tidema, was knocked over by the force, and a stampede of people began walking over him to get inside. Police officers attempted to resuscitate Timmy Ty, but he was already dead. Number 8. Nick Brady and Hailey Kiefer. In 2012, 65-year-old Byron Smith had been burglarized more than once. Thieves stole thousands of dollars in cash, jewelry, guns, and a very sentimental watch that belonged to his father. On Thanksgiving night, Byron turned all the lights off in his house and moved his truck to make it appear as if he wasn't home. He sat in his basement with a loaded gun. He had a feeling that the holiday would tempt the thieves to strike again. Sure enough, 17 and 18-year-old cousins Nick Brady and Hailey Kiefer had finished eating Thanksgiving dinner with their family and decided to do their own version of Black Friday shopping to score some free stuff and holiday cash from Byron Smith's home. Nick Brady walked into the basement, and Byron Smith shot him twice. Rather than calling the police to arrest the teenagers, he murdered them both. Number 7. The Toys R Us shootout. During Black Friday, Toys R Us is filled with exhausted and anxious parents trying to find the toys their children desperately want for Christmas. In Palm Desert, California, in 2008, 2 families with children got into an altercation. One woman punched the other and began beating her on the floor. The man who was with the woman who was getting beaten pulled out a gun to try to break up the fight. However, the man who was with the woman throwing all the punches pulled out a gun, too. The men began to shoot at each other, and both of them ended up dead. Number 6. Nadia Zaldan. 22-year-old Nadia Zaldan got a seasonal part-time job working at the River North Nordstrom in Chicago. Black Friday of 2014 also just so happened to be her birthday, but she had to work the long mandatory shift, while her family waited at home to throw her a surprise party. Nadia had broken up with her boyfriend, 31-year-old Marcus D., a few months before. He stalked her, because he couldn't let her go. He knew that Nadia would be working on Black Friday. Marcus D. showed up to her work and shot Nadia. Number 5. Matthew McGraw. The road rage on Black Friday is just as bad, if not worse than the angry and anxious shoppers that are inside of the stores. 33-year-old Matthew McGraw was driving through the lot when a car cut him off near the exit and parked. This made Matthew so angry that he parked his own car, grabbed a metal baton, and smashed the window of the car that cut him off while the driver was still inside. He began brutally beating the man with the metal rod. The driver grabbed his gun, which he kept in the car with him, and shot Matthew McGraw in self-defense. He died soon after. Number 4. Ashley Harris. Carter Servants and Clarence Mallory were a young couple who had worked together at an American Eagle Outfitters in Dallas, Texas. They no longer worked at the store because they were both caught stealing, and they were promptly fired and reported to the police. Ashley, the former assistant manager of the store, was getting ready for bed when Carter and Clarence ambushed her and began taking out a lot of anger and aggression on their former boss. They taped her arms and legs, beat her, and set her on fire until she died. Then, they stole her keys to the store, where they planned to rob the cash registers of the estimated $50,000 in revenue that was made that day. Number 3. Nisha and Sheetal Tandle. Being a parent on Black Friday is tough. Arvind Tandle was in the car with his wife and 4 young daughters, driving everyone home from Black Friday shopping at 6:30 in the morning in his Lexus SUV. The 2 oldest girls, 24-year-old Nisha and 20-year-old Sheetal, were not wearing seat belts. They gave them to their younger sisters. Arvind Tandle began nodding off, and he fell asleep at the wheel while driving on the highway. The SUV rolled several times, tossing Sheetal and Nisha's bodies around violently. Number 2. Walter Vance. Walter Vance was 61 years old, and he was shopping for discounted Christmas decorations at 12:15 a.m. The stress of the shopping experience was too much for Walter to handle. He began to have a heart attack and fell to the floor. Shoppers were so eager to get their discounts that no one stopped to help him, and people simply stepped over his body and he died after some time. Number 1. Demond Cotman. It was 1 a.m. at the Hamilton Mall in Mays Landing, New Jersey, on Black Friday. The mall was still closed, except for a few department stores like Macy's, who had decided to open early on Thanksgiving night. The parking lot was already filled with shoppers. 21-year-old Demond Cotman was visiting them all with his 26-year-old brother Shadi. Both of them began getting shot at while they were out in the parking lot. Shadi was shot in the leg and managed to survive the attack, but Demond was not so lucky, and he was killed.